like I'm hitting the powder on the ski slopes of Fukushima. We're on the lookout for shooting stars in the dark skies of Alberta.
You guys are crazy.
And Brandy's trying out ice canoeing in Quebec City.
Woohoo!
Hello and welcome to the travel show, coming to you this week from Japan, where it's just after 6 o'clock here in Tokyo and we're about to hit the road.
We're heading off before sunrise.
Let's do it.
To make the 4-hour journey to Fukushima. Most people associate Fukushima with the impact of the major earthquake and tsunami that hit Japan on March 11th, 6 years ago. The tsunami wave disabled the generators at the Fukushima power plant, triggering a nuclear meltdown. But before 2011, the region had been famous for its ski resorts and was popular with tourists. In the months following the nuclear disaster, fears about radiation levels hit the tourism industry hard. And the number of foreign visitors staying here fell by 90%. Now, in many parts of the region, background radiation has fallen to levels similar to those that are found in major cities around the world. And tourists are returning.
We made it. Look at all this snow. Can't wait.
I'm heading to try out the slopes for myself.
I only learned to ski the first time 2 weeks ago, so it's probably a good idea if I get some tips from a local before I head down the mountain.
Hello.
Hi Kay, how are you?
Pretty, how are you? Okay, welcome to the top of Gondora.
Thank
Here
you.
is Aotsu Bandai.
Great.
Look at that, there's a great sunshine.
Amazing.
There's a great view.
Okay.
And let's get skiing.
This looks tricky. I need help, okay? Here we go.
Maybe I should have practiced before the cameras started rolling.
It scares me. Woo! Ah! I was scared.
And just when I think I'm doing okay,
Woo! Whoa! Nice bumping into you. How are we going to disentangle ourselves?
I might not be making the most of the powder here, but there are plenty who are. And the number of people coming here to ski is almost back at pre-2011 levels.
There's so much snow and it's almost guaranteed to get snow, pretty much. I've third year back to Japan, and every time there's so much snow. It's incredible for sure.
But businesses are having to work hard to draw tourists, especially those from overseas. Cash incentives are being offered to some international visitors, and it's hoped younger skiers and boarders will give Fukushima a try.
We're doing a special promotion for young people because they're less worried about Fukushima's reputation. So we invite people aged between 19 and 24 to ski for free. And we're hoping they'll spread the word on social media that Fukushima is safe.
Reassuring people about the region's safety is a big deal here, and the food and water supply is routinely tested. The disaster also prompted groups of volunteers to start monitoring the radiation for themselves. This crowdsourced data is constantly being updated, and anyone can access it. So if you're heading to the area, you can take a look.
Joe,
It's good to meet you finally.
I can't miss you in that red car.
Well, we do try to be a little obvious.
So tell me about Safecast. What does it do in terms of radiation here in Japan?
Safecast is measuring the radiation ever since the tsunami and the incident back in 2011. On the car, this is a Geiger counter, which includes a GPS and a small computer. So what it does is, as I drive around, it measures the radiation every 5 seconds and records the location, the time, and the level on a SD card inside. And then later we read it out on a computer and upload it and put it on a map on the web so everybody can see it.
Joe and the other volunteers in the network have taken millions of readings over the past 6 years.
The sensor will record every 5 seconds and write it to memory, but it also transmits to this box you're holding so we can see what it is as we're moving around.
Great. Okay, so it's 0.2 right now. Is that high?
That's about world average, but most places in the world are below average. There's a very few places that are very much higher than average that bring the average up. Typical levels in the world are 0.1 to 0.15.
We were filming up at the resort and they were saying there's no problem with radiation here anymore.
There's no zero risk level of radiation. A very small amount of radiation is a very small risk. And especially over in Aizu where you are, the levels of contamination there were very low. So the risk is very low. Not zero, but lower than most places in the world.
And it's not just moving sensors. There are also fixed monitors dotted around the region that Safecast help install and update.
And this is Sado OKANO. He's one of our hosts.
Konnichiwa.
Welcome to my temple.
One of the more picturesque sensor locations is on this Zen Buddhist temple in Fukushima City.
Just after the earthquake and after the accident, the governments and local governments tell us the data, but some people say it's deceptive or modified. So I made them feel safe. So we need to measure by ourselves. So that makes the people are safe.
Everyone here is keen to get the message across that Fukushima is safe. Only the immediate area around the reactor is off limits, and these ski slopes are over 100 kilometers from the power plant. But it's going to take an enormous push to make the name Fukushima synonymous with these snowy peaks, and not the terrible events of 2011. Next up, it's Global Gourmet. This week, we're in Muhuruk, in the northeast of Bahrain.
My name is NARISE QAMBAR. I'm the owner of Saffron Cafe. My cafe is built on an original date press, and that's what inspired me to do this dish today, which is the rangina, a very local Bahraini dish. So the base of this dish is overripe dates, which we call in Bahrain ratab. So right now, what I'll be doing is I'll be de-seeding them and stuffing them with Indian almond nuts. So if you don't have any Indian almond nuts on hand, you can always go for walnuts, almonds, pistachios, whatever nut you have. And now we're going to roast some whole wheat flour. We want the color to change to a bit of a light golden. Add butter and a bit of oil. I like to add a little bit of icing sugar, but this is an optional. I like to add cardamom and a little bit of cinnamon. now we pour. Decorate it with some walnuts, sprinkling of some Indian almonds, some pistachios. There you have it, rangina, a typical summer dish for when we have lots of overripe dates.
Well, coming up next on the Travel Show, we head to Canada, a country that's celebrating its 150th birthday this year. In a moment, we'll be going ice canoeing in Quebec.
But first, we're off to two of the world's largest dark sky preserves in Alberta to meet the astrophotographers who capture truly breathtaking shots of the night sky.
I'm considered a Northern Lights aurora specialist. When I'm out all by myself, sometimes minus 30, minus 35. It's totally darkness, you can't see anything. But then when the light, Northern Lights comes out, it's as bright as moon. And it was like, wow, how small you are, and it's just amazing. Northern Lights are about 100K. I was invited to Buffalo dark sky this year, and I'm teaching how to do night sky photography, including like time-lapse video making and star trails images. You need some help from moon, so I love moon. Half moon is great. Full moon is a little hard because it's too bright.
Here in Jasper National Park, I'm lucky enough to be the photo video guy for the park, which means I get to go out and I get to capture all sorts of things here, including scenery, wildlife, events, and share them with the world. When I first moved to Jasper, I lived just outside of town and it was really dark there. And every night I was treated to a fantastic sky, and I could walk out, no light pollution, or look up and see the Milky Way above me. And it was just so awe-inspiring. So of course I started bringing my camera out and capturing the night sky. Shooting the night sky, you want to try to get something unique. And for me, I'm always trying to push my boundaries. So how can you get that composition together to create, where's your Milky Way going to be? Where's that mountain going to lay? Where can you get that reflection of that river or that lake in there? And then if you happen to get a shooting star in another area that you really want, well, you know, that's once in a lifetime.
Next, we're traveling over 2,000 miles to the east of Canada to try out a sport that has its origins in the country's past. We sent Brandy Yanchik to give it a go.
This is the mighty St. Lawrence River in Quebec City that connects the Great Lakes of Canada with the Atlantic Ocean. For hundreds of years, the only way of crossing from one bank to the other during the winter was to make the journey by canoe, rowing through the fast-flowing icy water and pushing the boat over the sections that were frozen solid. Now, ice canoeing is a sport, and speed races are held here every year during the city's winter carnival. I've come down to the banks of the river for a lesson.
Ready to try it? We will practice the transition. What is your best leg, the left or the right?
I would say my right.
You're right. So you will be on this side with your left leg inside the boat and the scooter ring and your right one. Have a position.
Pushing the canoe over the ice is called scootering, and Ambroise makes the transition look simple. I'm going to prove otherwise.
Yeah, pushing up the boat. Stop. Okay. We start from the ice, then in the water. Have a seat right there.
Have a seat?
Yes.
Ah!
Then get ready on the front. You will make the transition. You will feel something like this. Keep rowing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing good.
On top of the scootering, Ambroise also tells me I'll have to watch out for big chunks of ice slamming into my oars.
Keep rowing. Keep rowing.
Yes.
Then unclip it quickly. Yeah, that's the kind of surprise the St. Lawrence will give you with a big block of ice bigger than your car. I did almost nothing.
Even practicing on solid ground is tricky.
Scooter in front!
These guys are fast.
Row in front so we go down. We sitting? Are we sitting?
Row in front! Scooter in front!
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, stop.
The thought of doing this on the open river feels terrifying.
When we're gonna go from the water to the ice, the canoe's gonna shake out a bit because me and Amelie are gonna jump on the ice. We don't expect you to do anything on that. If you ever see us, going through the ice, don't worry, we're fine. We're gonna stand up and that's not gonna be a big deal. But I just want to warn you that it's going to be fun.
Okay.
So get your scootering position.
Okay, let's go. Oh. Yes. You guys are crazy.
We're using specialized equipment, and the ice is thick.
Yeah! Keep pushing!
But I can't shake the fear that we're going to smash right through the ice into the river.
Stop.
So how do you feel right now?
I need to sit down.
Okay.
Okay, Ambroise, I have to ask you because as soon as we hit the ice, my adrenaline just shot up and I really got scared.
Yeah.
So, are you sure this is safe?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Because more it's bumpy, more the ice is thick, more it's solid. Here you have the tide. It's absolutely unique in the world. Right now the tide goes this way, the current goes this way, and 6 hours after the current will go this way, up to the Grand Lake, up to Montreal. So that's why the ice is so broken like this.
So what happens now?
Now we're going to rowing a little bit. So instead of scootering, we start rowing right there.
Wow, okay, let's try this.
Yeah.
It's not that scary now. I don't want to go in that freezing water. That would be terrifying. But now it feels good.
Not too fast.
Actually, I've never rowed before, so this is I'm not really a good asset to the team, let's just say.
Rowing between the icy banks of the river is beautiful. But I'm worried about colliding with some of the enormous ships moored along the banks.
Why are we so close to this boat? Oh my gosh, get me out of here.
Scootering front!
As soon as we hit a section of ice, we have to jump out for scootering.
Scootering back! Yeah!
Even with spiked shoes to grip the ice, this isn't easy. Matching the rhythm of the rest of the team feels impossible. but the more we jump between the boat and the ice, the more I relax and actually start to enjoy this icy wonderland.
Hey, Brandy, this is one of my little personal pleasure. Broken dishes. I give you one, I get one, and broken dishes.
All right.
Yeah.
Woo! It's like a Greek restaurant.
Yes.
All right.
Big the ice. Yeah. Going good. Woohoo! What's not back? Scootering back.
We hit the ice again, and I realize that with enough momentum, the boat will slide easily over the surface, like a sledge.
That is really intense. That is really intense. I don't even know how to explain that because I've never done anything like that. It's exciting, but it's just, it's wild. It's like being on a wild roller coaster ride on ice.
Despite my initial reservations, I have to say that trying out ice canoeing has been an incredible and uniquely Canadian experience. And I've come away with nothing but admiration for the teams who make it look so simple here on the mighty St. Lawrence River.
Well, Brandy Yanchik trying her hand at ice canoeing in Quebec. And it definitely looks colder there than it is here in Japan. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Coming up next week.
Addie's in Finnish Lapland, finding out why these herds of reindeer are vital to the threatened culture of the indigenous Sami people who live in this frozen part of the world.
I wouldn't want to get hit by one of them, though.
Join us for that next week. And don't forget, if you want to follow us on the road in real time, you can sign up to our social media feeds. All the details should be on your screen now. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Japan, it's goodbye.